and scores! Peyton Nash gets the Flames on early.
Just the start you want for LU, and you find a speedster in Peyton Nash. Does a nice little job of not making that move too difficult. Comes in with speed and is able to get far enough past Cannon. He can tuck it in on the stick side. You see here, nice extension. Cannon just got a piece of it, but enough momentum to slip into the back of the net. And just like that, Liberty is up 1-0, and that second line is going to be pivotal for the Flames this season. They're going to need production from guys like Nash throughout this year.
Nash was able to break away and notch the first goal for the Flames. 18-18 remaining in the first period. Still a lot of time left. Charlie Wilkie now weaving his way behind his own netminder. He'll kick it on out to Barstead. Barstead's got an opportunity. Here we go again, and that gets tipped away. Barstead tried to get it on out to Guadalajara. And now the Icepack coming up ice. There's a shot by Davison.
We saw Barstead with a couple opportunities yesterday, and he went on the backhand, scored one, missed on another, but it's nice to see him starting to get some offensive confidence in the early portion of the season.
You see Cam Mazanowski shoving on in deep into the Flames off defensive zone. Trying to settle it down as Toon. Now along center line, here comes Soupy Campbell. Another firing shot. No good. Josh Malin was there in front of the net again. Malin again. Not able to get anything.
Old Soups is a guy I'd like to see shoot more as well. He's got the speed to be dangerous, and he gets in scoring places, but doesn't have enough confidence in his shot as it is right now just to let it fly. But I think this is a guy that, with his speed, could get upwards of 5 to 10 goals in a year.
Campbell's able to shove him down. Icepack still trying to get their footing. Here's a golden opportunity. Fires one that goes wide right. That by Ricky Frosch, the sophomore. Flanders shoves a man down. Flanders fighting for it, trying to get it away from Riley Johnson. There's a firing shot. Solomon, no good. Chris Solomon, the leading scorer from last season for the Icepack, trying to get as many shots on goal early. Johnson around. And here comes Flanders. Flanders has some speed to him. Trying to beat a two-man. Still going. He almost made it look good. Huge speed by Flanders, and Doe gets it back door. Now Doe looking for a man. There's another firing shot. That one no good.
Nice job by George, just getting that on net. Rebound popped out near side. No Flame was there. But still, you can tell Liberty is playing a lot simpler game early on, and it'll pay dividends as the evening goes on.
It seemed like the first two games that they played when they, or first three games when they lost that tough series against the University of Mary. Doe a shot, that one covered up.
Yeah, Cannon had to be sharp on that play, and here in the initial 4 minutes and change of this game, LU has had the majority of the scoring opportunities. We see Flanders with one, Barstead as well. Nash getting the goal, and right there, Timothy Doe going down and almost being able to find the back of the net.
Here, Wagner now on the face-off. Flames still trying to retain possession. Wagner still trying to chop it along the boards, far side. The Icepack are able to get it, but Nash is able to come in and swat it. Grands now is there, but no. And here come the Icepack once again. Colby Peterson, the second semester transfer last season from the BCHL. There's another shot out front. Scrum along the near side boards. As Wagner flips it out to Nash, same play as the last time, trying to get it again. And Cannon thinks better and is able to cover it up.
Oh, that's really impressive. That Colby Peterson, as you said, you see the shot there by Nash. He played in the BCHL, had 12 goals, 12 assists, 24 points over the course of 57 games. Typically when you see a guy come down from the BCHL into the ACHA, they're playing Division I. And there's BCHL players who will go on to play in the NHL, and you think about a few. Tyler Bozak was a guy that played in the BCHL that comes to mind right off the bat, and there's a decent number of them, so that's a good hockey league.
Colby Peterson, he had from Raleigh, North Carolina, as we mentioned, from the BCHL. Guadalajara now on for the Flames, the freshman phenom from Michigan. Guadalajara now takes it. Trying to get it on over. Got Carter out there. Carter, the big man. Back to Guadalajara. Guadalajara tries to fire it in. Carter's there. No doing. Wilkie tries to fire it in. Trying to cover it up. And Cannon is successfully able to stop any type of momentum.
I like the play there from Carter, just posting up that big frame out in front of the goal, and a nice activation from Wilkie, who came in, got the shot off. Didn't get clean wood on it, but nonetheless got it back on goal. Like we said, Cannon, the senior goaltender on this team that's seen a lot of highs with this group during his 4 years, has had to be very sharp through the early minutes of this game.
As the Flames are able to get it on. Now Nieder fires one. Nope, that goes left. Now Flanders on the far side boards. And now the Icepack will come up and try their hand. Weaving around with it was Ian O'Rourke, unable to get anywhere. Opportunity for Doe. Doe fires it. No! Just outside. Cannon had a little bit of a pad on that one. 13:45 left in the first period. Aaron Partridge trying to swat it away. Now the Flames are able to regain possession as J.D. Georges flips it on in deep. Flanders comes off of the ice. And Harrison and Soupy Campbell are back on for the Flames. Flames trying to find something. Doe. Far side boards looking for a man. He flips it up to Niederer. Niederer picks it up. Now to go all the way over to Soupy Campbell. Trying to flip it. Icepack able to take it away. And immediately J.D. George meets him at around center ice and keeps it into the Icepack's defensive zone as Harrison along the point. That goes wide. 12:50 remains in the first period. Harrison shoves it in. There won't be an icing call there. Victor Hugo lays a hit down. As Chris Solomon comes off the ice for the Icepack. NC State trying to find a little bit of momentum. Last night did not go their way. In their season opener, they lost to the Division I Liberty team with the score 7-2. Not a lot to take away there, but if you're the Icepack, what do you do in this game after losing last night as well? Just for a team that is hopeful to be in the tournament, what are the, just to be a favorite, what do you do if you're them just to continue on?
I think you just got to be, in this game at least, physical. And this is a group that's trying to find the new normal for themselves as they lose a couple of talented individuals from last season. So it is going to take a while for guys to step up and kind of figure out their new role. We've seen multiple people get into the offensive action, and it'll take them a while to get adjusted, but that is no surprise. It'll be fine. Riley Johnson, one of them, is going to lead the charge this year. But I think a physical brand of hockey is what they identify well with. So I think that's an area they need to stick with. Liberty can be an emotional team at times, and if they are able to get the Flames, like I said, into penalty trouble, and if they're able to solve the neutral zone trap of LU in their PK, then they'll be in okay shape.
As you mentioned, a lot of new pieces. Just the fact that their head coaches, Eric Todd tries to get one. They have a new head coach.
That's true.
In Tim Healy, his first season as a head coach.
He was with the program last year, though, and for the past couple of seasons, so hopefully nothing changes too much.
Opportunity for Wilkie. Now to be an offside.
So here's a pro and con of Charlie Wilkie, and as you watch him play, He does a nice job of using his legs to exit the zone. At times, though, I think Charlie, when perhaps he's not extremely comfortable in the game, he tries to do the rush a little bit too much, and he needs to pick his spots a little bit better there, and he had skaters with him in white sweaters that he could have utilized on that rush. And you'll see it from time to time. He just gets his head down and rolling a little bit and forgets to take a look around him to see who's out and about that would be able to accept the pass.
And Wilkie, the sophomore from Calgary, he had 19 points a season before. 10:43 remains in the first period. Flames have an early lead, 1-0 over the Icepack. And Barstead trying to fight for it. Now the Icepack will come back. That gets batted back to Harrison. Harrison's got Barstead over the blue line. Big hit there to Ferrone. Little scuffle back there. Icepack come out on top there.
See, you see it right down there. McFarland gets a little emotional, takes an extra shot. The official lets it go, but laying the body on him, it starts to bring you success.
And now Barstead left side, tries to fire it into McFarland, no.
I'm telling you, Barstead needs to shoot that puck. He has got a hot shot. I know McFarland is out there and he's a shooter. He's a prolific goal scorer, but Barstead can fit into that mold as well, and he just needs to start letting it fly a little bit.
Opportunity for the Icepack as they laser it in. That gets flipped up. Parker Zurich was there. And here come the Flames once again, trying to keep it away. Keep it away from Zurich. There's now Harrison behind his netminder. And they will come back out as Timothy Doe tries to launch one to Niederer just off the point, and now the Flames will have to retrieve it once again for an icing. 9:28 remaining in the first period. The Flames, obviously, the couple weeks ago, they had a tough series against the University of Maryland where they lost 2 games and tied in overtime. Actually, mind you, a shootout loss, which took forever.
True. For those of you who didn't watch that game, that shootout went about, honestly, I lost track, but it was easily 15 rounds.
And that's just talking about it nicely. What's just impressed you about this Flames team since like that first season opener? It was tough on them. I'm sure it looked just look at it like they were totally.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen the Flames really in sync yet this season. Now, this first period of this game, they are looking better in my opinion, and I like the game that they've played so far. And I'm a tough critic on the Division II team typically. I've seen how well they can play. I know what their peak is, and so you kind of hold them to that level of play. And you're starting to see it a little bit more here tonight. They're not squeezing onto the stick so hard. They're not trying to be quite as fancy. I like their gameplay a lot more this evening. And I like the fact, too, of speaking to a member of the coaching staff, and they just talked about how in love they are with this line right now of Toon, Mallon, and Campbell. And just the element they bring to this group is needed. And they've done an excellent job of buying into their role. They know they need to be physical, bring energy and speed. They've done that exactly, and they've also gotten scoring opportunities from it. You see it right there, big hit by Mallon.
Mallon was able to get the hit there. Trying to fire it in. That time, number 22, John Duquette. Unable to as Dakota Sihainuk was there. Nuke in goal has been lethal for the past 2 seasons. Another hit there. Malin lays it down once again. A couple other guys. As there's a stick getting caught by McFarland, it appears.
Yeah, see it. I have no problem with it with what NC State is doing right now, and that is they've targeted 19 in white. Penalty coming here. Interference will be the call
on J.D. George.
But they're targeting 19, and they know that McFarland at times can get a little hot under the collar, and they're targeting that. They're going to call it a trip, interference, whatever you like. Nonetheless, NC State heading to the power play.
Yeah, George is trying to neutralize any breakaway as Griffin Burke came soaring in. Burke had 4 points last season. Now, power play opportunity. for the Icepack to tie this one up as O'Rourke now begins it with it, trying to fire it in. That one's thrown away by Doe. What does Doe do? He'll continue to fly, and he'll let it soar all the way to the other end of the ice. As O'Rourke will gather it back up behind his netminder.
And nice passing. You can tell they've watched a little video. That was the cleanest breakout in the power play we've seen so far in this series.
Halko passed it on to Colby Peterson. Peterson, a shot that's off of Harrison.
Nice job by Harrison, just getting down on one knee, being big. Defenders now, you know, you used to see them go down flat on the ice. Not so much anymore, and that was a nice play there by Bryce.
Victor Hugo scratched that. Eric Todd now on.
Harrison at it again, down on one knee, taking away the shooting lane and got a piece of it with a skate.
O'Rourke trying to swat it away. Trying to keep it in. Oh, that could have been close. It's Eric Todd now with it, looking for a shot. He'll fire one.
Boy, Harrison, give that guy a pat on the bum. 3 block shots on that PK. Valiant effort by Sixton White. Great job. He just took that one right off the inner thigh, and it was a rocket. That's going to hurt.
Harrison just putting the team on his back in that little scenario right there. A little bit. He didn't even have a stick for a while. As NC State comes in. Zurich now with it. Flips it on to Hugo. Hugo. Now to Zurich. Zurich on to Orieni. Wilkie just able to get it out of his netminder.
That was a nice set play. They found their man, Riley Johnson, alone in the slot. He didn't get full wood on it. A nice save by Sihainuk.
7 seconds remain on this power play. It appears that the Icepack won't be able to take advantage of the opportunity as J.D. George is back on ice.
I will say this, though. That was the best power play they've run so far this weekend. So that's a bright spot for them.
And Riley Johnson tried to swat it in. Gets stolen away by Niederer. Niederer coming up ice as that gets poked away. Orieni now with it, skating. Now has to go back to Hugo. Now back to Johnson. As they kick it on in deep by Zurich. Now Guadalajara on. 5 minutes remain in the first period. Flames still lead 1-0. Flanders just out of the reach of him. As an Icepack member goes down, and he stays down, finally gets back up. That's Matt Miller, shaken up a little bit, but able to get it back up.
Charlie Wilkie going off for interference. Difficult to see from our angle where the puck was, if Miller had touched it or not when the hit was laid. Perhaps we'll see it on the replay, but again, we talked about penalty problems, right? And that's something that the Flames are suspect to, and you're seeing it here in the first period. Back-to-back minors, and yeah, difficult to see there. The puck covered up by the boards. But Steve Kitts, the rear official, making the call, saying that the puck had not been touched.
Be another opportunity for the Icepack as Matt Miller trying to chase down J.D. George, unable to. Now they'll have to come back from center ice. And in comes Colby Peterson. Peterson looking, he's got Miller to his left. Peterson tries to move it on into the middle. Now Halko with it. Halko takes a shot, that's off of Peyton Nash. Halko again. Looks like he's going to lift it. Now O'Rourke trying to get to Miller. Barstead trying to scuffle for it. As now that gets past the blue line, and in comes Peyton Nash trying to get a second one on the day. Nash a little bit too strong as he gets met by a couple Icepack. In comes Miller again. Miller searching, being patient with it. He'll wait for his men to get up here. Oh, it gets stolen away by Doe. Missed opportunity for Miller. Chris Solomon on for the Icepack as he gets shoved into the boards by a Flame. 45 seconds left in this power play. Solomon is shot off a pad. Sihainuk stands tall. Now Victor Hugo on to Riley Johnson. Johnson looking. He'll fire one off a pad. Niederer there for the rebound. He'll shove it on in.
Right now, I like the power play setup. by the Icepack. The problem is you're not getting any traffic in front of Dakota, and he's a high enough caliber goaltender that what he sees, he's going to stop. You got to take away his eyes. Oh boy, bad play there.
Oh, and score.
Yeah, that was a mistake by Cannon. And you don't see him make an error like that too often, but Cannon, the bouncing puck comes in, he can't handle it. The rebound pops out, McFarland makes him pay, and if you give McFarland an opportunity from the slot all alone, he is going to make you pay, and he did exactly that. Take a look at it here. Puck bounced out off the pads, and boom, top shelf.
Luke McFarland, the sophomore from Colorado Springs, puts the Flames up 2-0 with just under 3 minutes to go. Icepack still have a power play. That'll dissolve here in 5 seconds.
Whenever you have a shorty scored against you, it just takes the wind right out of your sails.
See if they're able to rebound that in front of the net. Not enough traffic, as you mentioned earlier. And they're back to full strength.
It's funny, as a coach back in the day, I hated getting scored on more than I hated losing, because I think getting scored on it's the process of losing, right? And it just always stung a little bit more when it was a shorthanded goal. You just knew that your team is going to feel deflated after that, and I would be curious to see in the NHL, let's just take that, for how many times a team can score on the power play after a shorthanded goal is scored. I'm sure it's less than 0.5%.
This has to be deflating beyond belief, as you mentioned. Now the Flames with it under 2 minutes to go. Guadalajara tries to shove it on in deep. There's another Icepack member goes down. That's Miller. J.D. George trying to fight for it. Now up to Peterson. Colby Peterson now with it. Sweeping his way, trying to get back to it. Peterson, a shot. That goes out of play.
I'm not sure if that went off the glove of Sihanouk or went off the bucket, but nonetheless, he's able to keep it out. Here's another look at it. Here's the puck bouncing in. He has to go on the butterfly, and then pops out the huge rebound. McFarland makes no mistake, and that's a tough one as the goaltender. When you see it coming down like that, it's almost, you kind of get caught no man's land, and I'm not completely blaming Cannon, but he does have to make that stop in a game like this. You almost wonder, do you come out and just scoop it up with the glove? But obviously that didn't happen, and it's a 2-0 Liberty lead.
Definitely a tough scenario for Cannon. And now minute 18 to go left in the period. Mazanowski trying to put it on, unable to.
Not to worry though if you're an NC State fan. You saw this group come back from a 2-goal deficit yesterday, and they have it in them to do it again today. And I feel like, in all honesty, they've been playing better in this game than they were yesterday, so good things will come.
Besides the 2 goals, it just seems like it's just been overall very just even play, despite the 2-goal advantage for Liberty.
Well, it's 2 breakdowns, right? You have Nash on a odd man rush that's able to capitalize, and then you have just kind of a quirky goal that happens once in a blue moon. So you're not playing a bad hockey game at all.
So now here comes Partridge weaving around. He's got Wagner there on the pick, unable to get anything. 30 seconds left in the first period. Here comes Riley Johnson, head of steam, trying to pass it on off to Solomon, unable to. Solomon now with it. Kick it out, fires it, that's wide. O'Rourke there. 17 seconds to go in the first period. And that'll be an icing. "12 seconds left in the first period. Flames lead 2-0. Bryce Harrison, heroic effort on the 1 penalty kill. He had 3 consecutive shot blocks. NC State looking to get on the board here right before the end of the period. Riley Johnson tried to get it on net, unable to. 7 seconds to go. Trying to retrieve it. Get one more last ump. Riley Johnson gets drilled by Nash as the bell hits 0.
Yeah, nice job by Nash there. Saw Johnson was vulnerable, laid a solid hit on him.
And the Flames, they're up 2-0. Been a very highly contested matchup as we look back at some of the highlights.
Yeah, you know, this has been a physical hockey game. We said that throughout. Flames have been able to capitalize on their 2 opportunities. You see one right there from Nash, and it's a 2-0 lead as we head into the first intermission.
Welcome back into the LIC Primetime ACHA Men's Division II Hockey. I'm David Hoffman alongside Rhett McGibbon, and Rhett, Men's Division II Liberty Flames team up 2-0 on NC State.
Yeah, it took care of two opportunities, you could say, in the first period. The first one coming from Peyton Nash, who found a seam on the far side and snapped it home for the opening goal. And then moments later, or you could say about 10 minutes later, McFarland, a lucky bounce for him, it popped out in front, and he made no mistake, a shorthanded goal, and that's where we stand currently. But like we said, the Icepack has not played a bad period of hockey, and they are well within their reach of getting back in this hockey game. Obviously, the next goal is going to be a big one. You'd love to get back to within one instead of going down 3, but this is a group that has the offensive prowess to be able to do so.
And we are underway for the second period of action. They're starting right off with a shot on net as Eric Todd, the senior, has it swatted away by Dakota Sihainuk. Sihainuk, one of the top goalies in all of the ACHA. Week in and week out, he's always tough in goals. Mazanowski tries to get one in. Sihainuk shoves it along as J.D. George now with it for the Flames as they come on out to the other end. George showing some speed. That's eventually stolen away by the Icepack as Niederer is able to keep it into the zone. Now Partridge with it. Partridge trying to weave his way. Got Niederer. Niederer now kicks it on out to Flanders. J.D. George trying to keep it. Near side boards to Niederer. And the Icepack are able to come up with it first a short while as Hugo tried to get it. And now Eric Todd comes along. Colby Peterson to his left. Peterson now with it. He'll fire one across George and into the glove of Dakota Sihainuk. And for the NC State Icepack, I talked to head coach Tim Healy, his first season at the helm. He mentioned that the biggest challenge is this whole weekend as we look at a replay of the save by Sihainuk. Healy had mentioned just the Flames they're just coached so well, and just the depth they have is unlike any other team that they've had to face and that they'll ever face in just the whole season, and just the fact that they just have a very high competitive level.
Yeah, I think depth is a great key that, as you were talking about, the Liberty hockey program as a whole does an amazing job of recruiting in players from around the nation and Canada. You know, you even think about Russia starting to get a few in now. Artie Lakaitis and Polyansky that plays for the Division I team. Leo Hu out of China was playing for the D3 team last year. So this is an impressive group that Liberty's been able to put together, and all 3 levels have depth, which is very difficult to do.
And Liberty's been able to build just such a high level of just play in all 3 divisions. There's a shot on goal, and Riley Johnson knocks it in to make it a 1-score game. Icepack, they whip the Icepack off, and now they're back in it.
It's a big goal for this group. Take a look here. Riley Johnson, he's the go-to guy in this team. Nice little feed in front. Johnson, great patience, able to tuck it past the pad. And just like that, the go-to scorer this season on the Icepack team brings them back to within 1.
Dakota Sihainuk, the first chink in his armor.
I was going to say earlier on, a big key for the Icepack is to have Riley Johnson available for a full 60. Yesterday's game, he got that 10-minute major misconduct against him. And that's a huge blow to the NC State offense.
Now the Flames will have to try and recover and answer back. 2-1 advantage for the Flames. 17:38 remains in the second period. Now Partridge has to corral it on in his own zone as Guadalajara now takes it.
What's absolutely crazy is this isn't the only time you're going to see NC State at the LIC this weekend. They're scheduled to come back, as it stands right now on the schedule, January 30th to take on the Division II team once again. And actually in a few weeks' time, Liberty football will be traveling down to North Carolina to take on their third ACC opponent this year. And hard to believe, if you had asked us earlier this year, Liberty is taking on Syracuse, Virginia Tech today, and NC State later this season. If the Flames had any hope of going 3-0 against ACC opponents, and this being their second full season of FBS football, we'd all laugh and say no, but that's the case, as they currently sit 7-0 on the year.
It's been a crazy season for that football team, as they're still 7-0, and ranked number 25 as Wilkie fires one. Flames football has a lot to look forward to as they'll climb up the rankings after this impressive Virginia Tech win earlier today.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the ending in a few moments. It was crazy. It's worth the story.
As now Flanders with it, try to get it on to Doe. Now Hugo had to try and flip it on out. Now up with it comes Duke-it. And then they'll shove it on in deep. See Hynuk there to retrieve it. J.D. George behind the net. And George will come on out. 16:38 remains in the second period. Niederer now with it. Have to flip it on back to Barstead. Barstead, he's been a little chippy with a couple guys tonight. Now scrummage along the boards behind the net. Eventually taken by Barstead as Barstead loses it. A little shove there. Going down hard is McFarland. Now Victor Hugo able to take it on. Peterson gets a shot by McFarland. A couple shots by McFarland tonight. Barstead with it, looking for, try to get a hole in there, but not able to.
Misses the net, but finally you see that hot shot I've been talking about. And I know I've been speaking on it almost ad nauseum. Man, I really love his shot. Watching him as a freshman come into the Division III program, you know, once again, the Barsteads are slight individuals, but you saw his stature. You knew he could be a bigger guy, but he could just let it rip.
Zerk tried to get it on over to Kobe Peterson, unable to. Is O'Rourke now with it. O'Rourke, great stop by Barstead on the defense as O'Rourke fires it again towards net.
Yeah, right now NC State has the jump.
They're looking for another shot. That gets swatted down. It's Devin Halco on for the Icepack, the senior. He had 16 points last season.
And currently just struggling to get off is Colby Peterson. He was down behind the net for quite some time, and he's not been able to put any pressure down on that left leg.
Not a good sign, as Peterson's one of their top players.
See if we can recognize what happens here. And Peterson in front of the net. I tend to think he took a shot perhaps off the ankle. He seems to be fine still as play continues. It just keeps on going. We didn't see what the cause for concern was there, but he's definitely hurting. He's at the end of the bench right now, and the Icepack trainer is, I believe, doing just that, bringing out an Icepack for the ankle.
The second Icepack joke we have in this broadcast. I'm sure it won't be the last one.
I wasn't making a joke. You can see him. Yeah, he got tied up there with Harrison along the end boards. Perhaps twisted the ankle. Maybe twisted the knee. Real slow to get up.
Just under 15 minutes to go in the second period of play. Wagner with it. Advantage. Tries to get to Barstead. Barstead fires it in. No. Barstead another opportunity. That one shot ricochets with Wagner on the shot. Again, searching for it. Nope. As Nash blows the tire in the process. Coming up with it is Johnson. Johnson trying to get a second one. Fires it. Nice glove save. See Hynuk.
Yeah, nice read there by Dakota. One thing I love about Hynuk's play is the fact that he's intentional with his legs. And you see a lot of goaltenders at this level, in the Division III level, that go down without purpose. But right there, he goes down, he pushes to his left where he wants to make the save, and he's headed in that direction in case if there's a pop out of the glove or a rebound. Does a real good job of that.
Be a face-off in the Icepack offensive zone. Now Granzow trying to get it on out. So now Icepack will try and retrieve it.
believe it or not, actually, the Liberty football win wasn't the biggest one in my house today.
There's a shot by Carter, no.
Nice job by Nash there on the drag and shoot. If he could have hit the net, that was a surefire goal. I was gonna say, my son actually played in his flag football championship game this morning at 9 o'clock, and they took home the flag bowl. I guess I don't know what they call it, but nonetheless, he was pretty excited to be a champion in his first year of play.
There we go. What position does he play?
At that stage, it's everything under the sun.
Just an all-around great player.
Yeah.
That Icepack trying to tie it back up. Now Matt Miller with a neater opportunity. Nope. But that's stolen away by Mazanowski. And now Aaron Partridge with it. Doe with it, trying to weave his way in, fires it, and it is in. Timothy Doe and Blake Flanders there. Tag teaming on the goal to put him up 3-1.
Feel bad for Mazakowski, who was trying to get that puck out of the crease that eventually deflected off of him and into the net. You can see him talking to himself in frustration.
As we look back at that. Off the post originally, then Flant, it appears to be Doe knocked it on in on the second chance effort. .16 remains in the second period. Flames up 3-1.
Goal scored by Liberty University, number 16, Aaron Partridge.
And that puck goes out of play into the Icepack bench. See Flanders there, the senior MAC MVP from last season, as well as the leading scorer for this team as well.
Hard to believe Flanders has been here now. This is his 4th season with the team, and you knew his first year he was going to be something special.
Here comes Doe and Flanders, odd man opportunity. Doe tries to get it, Neater a shot. Oh, Flanders is there, still falling on it, puck still loose, and that's eventually stopped.
The official was a little quick to call that one down as the puck was still loose around the pads of Cannon. But right now, you have seen, I would say, in the 7 minutes and 12 seconds of the second period, perhaps the best hockey of LUD2 this season. They're using their speed, they're gaining the zone relentlessly, and they're just doing a great job of getting pucks on net. They're not trying to make it too pretty, which I absolutely love, and you have seen just a plethora of scoring opportunities so far in the second period.
This has just become overwhelming for NC State as they're still trying to find a way to get back into this game.
You know, NC State scored a nice goal early on, did a great job of finding your trigger man in Johnson and feeding him in front of the net, but since that point it has been all LU.
Now Riley Johnson on with it. Now the Flames, Timothy Doe's there. Along center ice as Mazakowski flips it on in deep as Sihanouk loses a stick.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I've done worse.
What if we have any video footage of you do something like that?
You know, actually, here's a story. So when I actually only got the opportunity to play for LU hockey for one season, and what happened was, it was the year after our current Division I team used to play Division II, and they moved up to the D1 level. So a new Division II team was formed, and I had the chance to play in the blue and white game at the Division I level. A goaltender was out, he had to be at a wedding, so I was getting to play the opening 30 minutes. Big crowd, 3,000 people. I was nervous as all get out. First shot, I'm coming out to face it, and I blow a tire. I just slip and I fall right on my bum. And I luckily get the stick down just in time to be able to stop it. But I was like, ooh, okay, Rhett, let's just calm down. Everything's okay.
.11:50 remains. As Solomon up past the blue line, Solomon trying to find a man as J.D. George just blankets him. And McFarland comes on up. Riley Johnson retrieves in his own zone. Now McFarland trying to get it. And now the Icepack will come up. Then comes Zurich, and that will be an icing.
Actually, that one went into the glove of Sihanouk. He'll just hold on to it.
Too quick. See Joey Davidson there, the junior from Phoenix, Arizona. Last season had 2 points on the year. 11-11 remains in the second period. As two Icepack get scuffed up into each other. As Sorensen on for the first time tonight for the Flames, as McFarland gives a little shove and continues on in front of the net. Malin unable to. And here comes Ferrone. Ferrone a shot. Oh, that could have been deadly. Flames able to prevail. Here comes Caleb Toon. Toon gets knocked down. He knocks down Bresenham.
Called that offside. Bit of a late call. As the face-off will come back out in the neutral zone. Liberty continues to put pressure on the Icepack defense. Going back to it, I spoke about this yesterday. Really love the new sweaters that NC State's rocking this year. Big fan of the cream or off-white, whatever you want to call it. Looks fantastic.
It almost has a throwback look to it.
It does. I have been itching for Liberty to get one of these. Can you imagine a nice stark navy with a little cream in it? Oh my goodness. Go back and maybe revamp the old circle logo they had back in the real early days that was from the 90s. Oh boy, I'd buy one.
Or almost kind of like the basketball team, their throwback jerseys they have. They had something kind of like that.
Those are great.
Now Timothy Doe on with the right side, near side, trying to find something. Still trying to shove it in the back towards there, unable to.
That was nifty. If Doe would put that in, wow.
Almost surprised Cannon there. Firing shot off a rebound, and that's flipped on up by Niederer. Yakavone tried to get that in on Sihanouk. Sihanouk will call for an icing. 9:25 remains in the second period of action. Flames able to go up 3-1. Credit to Tim Doe on the third goal. He had 33 points last season. Doe's been a big part of this team overall.
I love Tim Doe's game. I say that, I feel like every broadcast. I just think he does the little things right and plays a great brand of hockey. Not the flashiest guy out there, but has great stick skills. Sees the ice extremely well.
Now the Icepack trying to get back into this game. Toon's there. And then scooped up by Halko. There's a shot. Malin could have had another one there. A little bit extracurricular. They're getting feisty up in here. The fans are loving it.
Yeah, now I hope through all of this they either send Toon off or none at all. And I love the game that Toon's been playing this season, and he needs to be aggressive, and I'm okay with him getting in there and getting under the skin a little bit of NC State. But that's a slash, and that's a late shot on the net slash after the whistle, and the Icepack, O'Rourke has every right in the world to go put him in a headlock and rip his bucket off. And see, I wish O'Rourke in this case wasn't getting a call. That's me personally. Nothing against Caleb. Like I said, I think he's played extremely well this season, but that's O'Rourke's job. You protect your goaltender no matter what. And if anything here, all right, I'll be happy. If you want to give O'Rourke a call, then you give Toon 4 minutes total. You give him one for the slash, and then you give him a cheesy roughing call just to still give the advantage to NC State.
With that, it'll be 4-on-4 hockey coming up.
All right, so hey, while we got a second here, let's talk about the end of that Liberty football game
Of
today.
course.
For those of you that didn't get to see it, this is what happens. Liberty with, I think it was 5 seconds left, is that correct?
5 seconds, or 8 seconds actually.
8 seconds left in the game. They're going for the field goal. It's a 61-yarder. It was lower, 59.
51, I think.
Was it 51?
Yep, 51.
Okay, 51 yards. And Liberty's kicker at times this season has had some games where he's been like, okay, he's spot on. Other games are like, a little scary. And 51 yards is pretty far for him. Well, anyways, the kick gets blocked. And Virginia Tech comes back, recovers it, brings it back for a touchdown. 0 seconds left on the clock. Everybody's like, game's over. Game's over. What? Like, what's going on? And all of a sudden, everybody's like, what, flags? And Fuente, the head coach of Tech, had called a timeout just before the kick. And you see there, it looks like Toon and O'Rourke are done for the night.
Both getting taken out of the game.
I hate that. Absolutely hate that. Like, that's a hockey play. I'll get back to the football thing here in a second. That just drives me absolutely nuts. And if you don't agree with me, that's fine. Tweet at me. RetPXP. Bring it on. I can't stand that. If you watch hockey for any length of time, that is a play that happens fairly regularly throughout the course of a season. Let these guys go. It's not like they're throwing haymakers at each other. Toon gives the guy a bit of a bump. O'Rourke comes in and says, hey, you're not touching my tendy that way. Let's get to the chiropractor right now. And he just gives his neck a little wrench. Everything's fine. A little pushing and shoving. Everybody's okay. Let those kids, like, you take them out halfway through this hockey game and they have to go sit in the stands for an hour and a half now and watch their team play. There's no reason in my mind they shouldn't be out there. All right, back to the football game. All right, so timeout was called. The touchdown doesn't count. Liberty makes a quick pass. They get out sidelines. 5 seconds left. The kick's down to how many yards now? Something a bit more manageable. Still pretty lengthy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Alex Barbier, the kicker, comes through with just an absolute rocket and a bomb. His best kick of the year easily. Liberty goes up 3 with 1 second left, and after a couple laterals on the kickoff return, ice it for their first ever win against Virginia Tech. It was quite the game. Check it out. It's starting to happen on Twitter a little bit. You're seeing the replays of it, and it's an exciting time to be a Flames fan. You have to think they're going to be jumping up the rankings even higher this week.
They could move all the way up to even number 20. Interesting to see how that season ends up progressing as we get closer.
We have to think next game, next weekend is against Western Carolina, an FCS team, and you never want to say it's a win, but the Flames should be able to come out on top of that game. And week after that, like we said, NC State.
And they got Coastal Carolina on December 4th, which that'll be probably the biggest game. Because Coastal Carolina currently ranked number 15 in the nation.
Yeah, you got UMass as well in between there, day after Thanksgiving. Puck down low. Toon actually getting the additional minor, so NC State does come away with a power play.
Power play for NC State. 8:14 remains in the second period. 1 minute to go on the power play opportunity. Near side boards. Flames trying to keep it out of the net. Now with it to Solomon, he'll flip it on out. Firing shot by Hugo. Misfires. Hugo has to go and chase after it. Barstead trying to skate on and get to a first. Barstead has control for a moment, then eventually it's stolen away. Up ice comes Parker Zurich. You see Hynuk's able to retrieve it for J.D. George. And while near side boards, once again, Solomon there. Shot by Zurich, then off the post, and that goes out of play. Parker Zurich, the junior, he had 39 points last season, so he's been a big part of this Icepack team as well. You see Zurich able just to get it just off the post.
Yeah, see, I knew giving him a little area to look at, top shelf stick side. I got my first guy coming at me here. Good old friend, Dave Kurtz, saying, face mask on both, easy call, can't be pulling off the bucket off of guys. You know what? They're big boys. I think they're okay. You know, I respect the thought. And I don't like face mask at all, but it's not like you got a guy with his fingers through just yanking around the cage.
Puck in front of the net. They're signaling, Miller signaling that he might have gotten it in, but doesn't look like they did as we're back to full strength. Here comes Doe, full head of steam, tries to backhand it. No.
And Timothy Doe has a lethal backhander. He is just amazing at threading that thing top shelf, short side, and you see it right there. Just goes off the mask of Cannon. Did a nice job. You know, I love Cannon's bucket. Let me say this. I know it's the white, and we'll go back to it in a sec. Look at it here, right here. Look at that. If that is a couple inches to the right, that is going over the shoulder and back bar. Cannon, you can see that he has got a lot of usage out of that mask. The bars right around the eyes are dented in, probably about half an inch towards the skin. My old mask is like that.
6:50 left in the second period. Josh Cannon trying to stay strong as the Flames are bringing on the heat. As Wilkie will go back and retrieve it in his own end.
Attaboy, Michael Lee. He's watching. I think he's an Icepack fan. Thanks for tuning in today. And he agrees with me. Both guys should have stayed on. Attaboy, I like Michael.
J.D. George trying to get it in. And stoppage of play.
I think I'm not sure what the call was there. I thought the net perhaps had come off its mooring, but
it appeared Mazakowski got thrown into the net just a little bit.
Yeah, okay, the net did come off. You see linesman there, Kenny Malik, setting it back in place.
Look back at it. A little shove by J.D. George. Mazakowski gets flown into his own net. And that'll go out of play. 6:17 remains in this period. Flames still up 3-1. NC State still searching. Still a lot of time left.
Oh, tons of time. I really want to see the Icepack get back to that physical game they were playing earlier. And I'm not talking about the wrestling that happens after a play here and there. I want to see them start laying the body. Get back under the skin of LU.
What a shot by Barstead, but it's swatted away and snatched by Cannon.
Get on the power play. Get some opportunities for your go-to guys to get some chances. We've been talking a lot about Riley Johnson, but we know that Solomon can fill the net along with Colby Peterson. And get these guys some extra space to work with. Find them some shooting lanes, and they'll be able to create some chances for your group, and they'll find the back of the net sooner or later. They're too talented not to.
5:48 and counting remaining in the period. Is now McFarland trying to keep it on in. On to Barstead. Barstead, he's got Carter to his right. Trying to chip it on in. No. Guadalajara tries to fire it in. Carter's there, shoves a man down. Partridge fires it in. Rebound, and the Flames aren't able to get it off the rebound. And now Brezinov has to shove it on back, and they'll have a fresh line for the Icepack. Is now Granzow on to Carter. Carter's got an opportunity, trying to get a second one off the rebound and covered up.
Nifty little play there by Granzow. Between the legs, he was able to find Carter. Carter coming in, had some room on the stick side to potentially find the back of the net. You can see it here. Look at stick side, nice and open. Now that shot finds itself right into the body of Cannon, who's able to hold on.
And the Flames trying to keep it going as J.D. George hits it on in. That goes sliding over to Granzow. Granzow now with it. 5 minutes remain in the period. Over to George. George trying to find the lane. Granzow mishandles. Now back to Wilkie. There's Wagner, and then that's covered up again by Josh Cannon.
Yeah, LU's got to be careful here. Wagner taking, getting the sticker around Cannon again. Nice work by Mazakowski. Might as well throw those two guys out.
Little smile from Wagner.
That's one thing. There's a couple things
They're sending Mazakowski.
Okay, so here's the deal. Yeah, I'm a Liberty guy. I've grown up around the program, and I love Liberty hockey. That's a horrible call. Like, absolutely horrendous. Like, okay, level poke. Mazakowski, let the guy do his job. Okay, so what the sticks up? Like, I don't know.
They might have called us for that little extra ump at the end, but needless to say, kind of a questionable call.
If I'm, and, you know, this is vindictive, but if I'm the Icepack, I'm going to start returning the favor here, not in the near future.
A minute 40 left on the power play opportunity for the Flames. They're up 3-1 with 4.5 minutes to go. Flanders now with it. He's got some shiftiness. Flanders showing that speed and athleticism. Flanders goes around. Flanders still has it. He takes a shot. Another shot. Oh, almost in dough.
What a beauty. Getting the paddle down in time. Cannon keeping this game within reach.
Flanders winds up. That goes wide left. 4 minutes remain in the game, in the second period. Partridge flipped it on over to Niederer. Niederer now with it. Doe up to Flanders. Flanders tries to go top shelf. No. A minute left in the power play. Flames are pouring it on. Flanders trying to go again. Niederer trying to find a lane. Off to Partridge. Partridge to Niederer. Niederer looking. Trying to get it to Nash. No good. Now Niederer behind the net. He's got Flanders back there. Flanders now trying to find a lane. Tries to go a little bit too fancy on that one. Has to recover his Nash over to Partridge. Partridge, he'll wing one into the breadbasket of Josh Cannon again.
Good work by Cannon. Best PK guy out there currently. Take a look at this save. Comes across, just got the blocker and the kind of the stick on it enough to keep it out of the net. That was just a fantastic stop by that young man.
Cannon from Raleigh, North Carolina. He had a .908 save percentage last season. He was the main goalie for them. He had 11 games played last season. Firing is Carter. Scratched that McFarland on that shot. 21 seconds left in the power play opportunity. Sihainuk will let Guadalajara retrieve it back in his own end. Flames looking for a last second effort. 10 seconds remain on the power play. McFarland coming up with it. Wagner looking. He's got McFarland with Guadalajara. And we are back to even strength. The Icepack were able to knock out that penalty. 2:40 remains in the period. Flames still lead 3-1. Grand's out with it. Looking, fires it. Trying to be patient with it. Cannon with a great save. Wagner circling. He's got Guadalajara unable to get to it in time as they will retrieve back in their own end. Almost stolen away as Grand's out of trying to keep it in. Soupy Campbell trying to get there too. Now up ice comes Solomon. Oh, that was close. Almost in that time. Riley Johnson could have gotten a second goal on the night. Guadalajara tries to keep it on in. That will go into the bench. A minute 58 remains in the period. Cam Mazakowski there, the recipient of that last penalty. Mazakowski, he missed the Division I game earlier in the season against the men's Division I team, but he was coming off a broken ankle, but he's ready to go now, obviously.
And broken ankle, I hear, is one of the more painful injuries. And I remember watching hockey as a kid. Brendan Shanahan, for at that time the Detroit Red Wings, broke his ankle, I believe, off a shot, and he said it was just the worst thing he had experienced.
Opportunity, no good. Wilkie's there to save his netminder. Now scrummage along the near side boards is out to Flanders. Flanders gets a little body. And here comes Niederer. Niederer's got Doe to his right. That gets poked away at that time by Joey Davidson. Minute and a half to go in the period. And that will be an offsides call.
This game's been pretty even over the past 5 minutes. Scoring chances, I would say, slightly in favor of LU. The big thing right now is just it seems like NC State can't gain consistent zone time.
Here's a shot off a pad. Now Mazakowski's back there waiting in the depths as he misfires and has to go and retrieve it. Here comes a high flying Darren Carter. 1 minute remains in the second period. Great action all around. And then McFarland trying to chase it. Riley Johnson recovers it on in. And now Mazakowski will send it on out. Just out of the outstretched hands is Chris Solomon now with the opportunity. Fires it, no. Chris Solomon almost could have fooled Sihanouk there, but Sihanouk thought better. Here comes Barstead on the other end. Stolen away by Mazakowski.
There we go.
Here we go. Solomon with it. Solomon trying to fire and race it in. Oh, trying to go backhand with it. Great save by Sihanouk.
I give Sihanouk high praise. He may be the best Liberty goaltender I have ever witnessed when it comes to being able to stop a breakaway. And I would say leading him in that category might be Mike Binney, who is an all-time great at Liberty University. But Dakota Sihanouk, just his ability to push strong with his pads and get out in front, and his flexibility is top-notch.
Stellar goal play by Sihanouk today. He's only given up one goal. A lot of opportunities that could have been for the NC State Icepack. The Flames are able to get back out to a 3-1 lead. Flames still trying to hang on as we go to the third period. We'll be right back for more action here at the LIC. Welcome back into the LaHaye Ice Center. It's a Saturday night. What better way to spend that? We're sitting on your couch watching some incredible ACHA Men's Division II action. We got the Liberty Flames and the North Carolina State Icepack. I'm David Hoffman alongside Rhett McGibbon. And Rhett, 3-1 Flames lead, but there's still a lot of hope for NC State, to say the least.
Sorry, I feel so bad. I actually got a text on an injury update, and I was reading it there. So Max Mitchell will not be returning to this hockey game.
Great insight there by Rhett and his sources. We got sources in the men's division too.
Sources being the dad. Thank you,
there we
Mr.
go.
Mitchell.
I always love having a little extra analysis that we can't get normally.
Well, with the way COVID has gone, is COVID still? I don't know if it's still a thing. But with no sideline reporters anymore, it definitely helps you out. Having a connection here and there.
It's all about the connections in so many businesses. If that gets out of play.
Yeah, Christian Garland. That's one of the worst things as a coach on the bench, when that puck's coming at you and sometimes you just get stuck. You're like, I can't move. Yeah, I took a beauty one time right off the back. Oh, I saw it coming. And I just, I was kind of just leaning back on the glass, and I was like, here it comes. And I was like, there's no way I'm getting out of this. And just turned the back and took it.
Sure, that was a big whelp.
Yeah, well, yeah. In some ways, I was fortunate in the sense that it didn't. Here comes a tripping call against the Icepack as
Nieder goes down.
Yep. I was fortunate in the sense it didn't catch me on an edge. It actually turned and hit me flat, so it smacked me on the back. But
it's almost like a 5-star in a way.
Yeah, it hurt.
The last thing you ever want to have is take a look at that tripping call. Nieder, the recipient. That'll be 2 minutes for Matt Miller in the box. Flames right off the bat. They're back on the power play. It's Partridge with it. Lasering shot by Flanders, unable to convert. Partridge now again over to Nieder. Nieder still looking. Nieder will fire it on. That skips along.
Yeah, that's a all or nothing shot there from Nieder as he looks to go short side high. He had room, and that was an absolute howitzer, but misses the net and clears the zone.
The Flames have to recuperate and get back into this. Nieder now coming along. Skips it on out to Doe. Doe past the blue line. Doe will skip it on over to Nieder. Nieder there to retrieve it. He's got Partridge behind him. And Nash still along the scrummage near side boards. Doe's there with him as well. Still trying to find a little bit of an advantage as they're still swatting at it and chopping at it. Coming out on top that time is Victor Hugo for the Icepack. Now Nieder skips it on over to Flanders. Flanders got some speed, weaves his way around, tries to go up to the center, unable to. As Nash fires one on net. Doe is there as well. Partridge, 57 seconds left in the power play. Doe over to Partridge. Partridge looking, he'll fire one. Nice save there by Cannon again. That's shoved on back out.
Yeah, not a bad shot there from Partridge. Not a lot on it, but he's basically just trying to create a rebound or hoping that it might be a seeing eye shot that slips its way through.
And Partridge, he did have Doe there on the rebound if it would have bounced his way, but see, Hynuk shoves it on back to Partridge behind his net. 20 seconds left in the power play. Wagner trying to keep it in past the center line as McFarland trying to find it. Now Granzow on for the Flames. Here comes Wagner. Wagner looking, weaves his way. Oh, he almost took a look at it as McFarland now. Back to Wagner and then over. Guadalajara try to get one in. That gets shoved on back out. Great penalty kill there by the Wolfpack, or Icepack, mind you.
Guadalajara, really excited to watch his development over the next few seasons. This is a guy, like I said yesterday, that has top pairing written all over him. Has an excellent knack for knowing when to jump into the play, especially on the power play. You see him play in the wing kind of at times, and he'll step up, go deep in the zone, come back out. It's going to be a real special player for LU.
Guadalajara was a big part of just the past couple games, especially. He made an immediate impact against University of Mary. He was one of their bright spots in that tough weekend series.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was talking about when it came to mind. He knew when to jump in, and he scored a power play tally. One of the few power play goals that weekend.
Weaving around his netminder is Johnson. He'll shove it on back out. Got to Mazakowski. Mazakowski shoves it on in deep. And that will be an icing call. 16:53 left in the third period. Flames still lead 3-1.
Yeah, we've said this a couple times tonight, but the next goal, real pivotal. If you're NC State, you can get that next one back to within one. We've seen them after they've scored through 5 periods of play, they get a solid jump. They get that mojo going, and they've been tough to handle.
As in comes Riley Johnson. Johnson trying to find a couple men there. Johnson, oh, he just mishandled it. He tries to fire it back out to Mazakowski. Mazakowski has to fire it in deep to try to keep it in as it's back to Johnson. Johnson gets tripped up and taken over by Wilkie. Mazakowski fire it in. Nice save by Wilkie to keep it away. Up comes Barstead. Barstead firing it to Carter. No good that time. Carter mishandled that one. Up comes Hugo. Hugo weaving his way. Trying to keep it in the offensive zone. Hugo takes a wide shot. Another shot. Unable to get it in that time was Cohen. First time we mentioned his name tonight. Jackson Cohen, the freshman. 15:50 remains in the period. Eric Todd gets a little whiff of a shove from Barstead. Jackson Cohen trying to keep it in for the Icepack, and that's eventually taken away by McFarland. Trying to keep it in. As they go racing for it. And that's past the center line. As Halko comes up. Halko might try to take one. That goes just left. Halko with a nice, beautiful shot. Just a little bit outside. Now the Flames on the offensive. As Partridge, he trips up. They're looking for a call. And they'll come out. Delayed penalty for a tripping call as Halko mishandled it, and that will bring the penalty in place.
All right, biggest power play of the night right now for the Icepack. 15 minutes remaining, third period. An opportunity on the power play to cut the lead in half.
Another thing that was stressed a lot about by the Icepack head coach Tim Healy as we look at the trip. What he mentioned that the Icepack need to improve on is just their defensive zone and his breakouts. He said they need to be cleaner and quicker. He's like, they just want longer sustained forechecks as well. And opportunity on the power play. As Hugo trying to find a lane. And Gary Orieni misfires, and that goes past the center line.
I'd love to see NC State to do a little bit more high-low action, and right there the box for the Flames is all cramped up. Like they just were in their initial setup. You had yet to stretch them out at all, and that's the reason that pass was deflected.
Orieni tried to get it to Johnson, and that goes out of play.
What you want to do is you want to send it up high, get it to Hugo, let him handle it for a few, get a couple passes going on, get Doe and Nieder moving back and forth, wear him down just a titch, and then perhaps look for that cross slot pass that you're hoping to do. But as it stands right now, if you're allowing them to set up in their passive box that they seem to use, I don't think you're going to be able to make that set play happen.
Minute 25 left in the power play. He's now skating with his Doe. Doe takes a wide shot, drills it in.
Goodness sakes. Second shorty of the game, Timothy Doe. He's doing the old Steven Stamkos. I'm not going for the breakaway. I'm just going to let it rip. And that right there might be the nail in the coffin with how much time is left and how demoralizing we said that can be. Just an absolute cannon of a shot. And I give the goaltender Cannon a lot of credit. He was out there on the white ice, making himself large, but just a well-placed clapper inside the bar.
Cannon left just demoralized after that one. And that puts the Flames up 4-1. Doe's second goal on the day. Now NC State trying to crawl their way back into it. Still 14 minutes left in the third period. Just over the 50-second mark on the power play for the Icepack. They try to regroup as Mazakowski shoves it on out. Stolen away by Barsta. That could have been bad there. Flames penalty kill has been firing on all cylinders. Been able to knock out 2 goals as that one goes wide. Devin Halko tried to fire it in. Matt Miller, that gets swatted away. Barstead now, he'll shove it on out. And that'll be neutralized. 20 seconds remain in the power play. As here comes Solomon. Solomon goes down. He gets shoved by McFarland. 6 seconds remain in the power play. Trying to find a last second shot, and they will not, as Partridge is back on ice for full strength. And Liberty able to neutralize it. 12:52 remaining in the third period of play. Here comes Solomon up ice. Icepack have their work cut out for them, to say the least.
Seen a lot crazier things happen during my time covering ACHA hockey, so not out of the realm of possibility.
And here comes Flanders.
Flames are playing pretty stout right now, and
Flanders tips it on in. Off the rebound, all of a sudden, we got a little bit of a barn burner, 5-1 Flames.
And this is not the best night I've ever seen Cannon play, and I've seen him in games where his style's a little unorthodox, but he can make the stops, and he is a gamer. The guy gets into a zone, and you can't beat him, and you can tell, like right there, just the way the puck bounces out of his reach, can't seem to gather it. Some nights, as a goaltender, you just fight the puck, and you move on. Obviously, you learn from it, and you just forget about it.
Cannon have to forget about it really quick. The Flames are already trying to get back into it. Partridge keeps it in. There comes Ferron. See Heinuk able to recover it there. And Partridge will be behind his netminder. 12 minutes to go in the period as Soupy Campbell, a little bit outstretched for him. And that'll be called for an icing. All of a sudden, NC State finds themselves in a 4-goal deficit. Is there anything you can do at this point to try and just crawl your way out?
Sometimes you just need a little puck luck, you know, and it feels like everything's going against you tonight. A couple calls go against you. You have 2 shorthandies against you, and that's very difficult to come back from. But I don't know if there's one perfect remedy for this lack of success so far in this game. But, you know, it's crazy too. When I examine their whole effort, I don't feel like they played that poorly. I'd say the one thing is just not being able to get sustained offensive pressure, and maybe that's from a lack of dedication getting into a cycle or putting in the zone. It's like popcorn offense. You just get inside the blue line, you let one rip, and you hope you can snipe.
They're trying to get a little bit of offense going. It just hasn't been able to get sustained too much just overall in the series. As upcoming is Wilkie. Wilkie puts on the brakes. Look for Campbell. Just a bit outside. Wilkie has to go on and retrieve it. He's got Guadalajara over to his left. And Wilkie, he'll try to flip it on to Wagner.
It's a soft,
Icepack.
yeah,
to get it in.
Sorry, soft pass there by Wilkie. Almost turns into a goal and definitely turned into a scoring opportunity.
As the Icepack are unable to take advantage of that miscue on the Flames side. 10:40 remains in the third period. That gets intercepted by Krasnow. Wagner along the far side boards. Kicks it over to Nash. Back over to Wagner as he mishandled it. Guadalajara now looking for a shot. Nice little defensive effort by Jackson Cohen. Now Grand's out with it. Granzow trying to find Guadalajara. He'll flip it on over. Guadalajara fires a shot. That one blocked. Shoved along the near side boards. As the young fans all hyped up after that was right in front of him. And behind his netminder, a little shove there by Carter. Scratch that Nash. Granzow flips it up. Granzow opportunity, unable to get anything going there. Now tipped on back out. Parker Zurich. Zurich with it. Fires one and off the pad. Solid pad save. A couple men falling down. Guadalajara knocked the net off of the post.
I'd like to see Guadalajara perhaps step a little bit more in that situation. He seems to back off the play a little bit quickly and allow the shot to come through. And yes, an easy save for Sihanouk, but I think Guadalajara is going to be a guy with time that will be able to lay the body as he gets a little bit more comfortable at this level of hockey. See, I mean, he's talking things over with former D1 defenseman Matt Cruikshank. I always said about Matt Cruikshank, he's far from the best skater, best shooter, and he's just, you know, he's not that guy that's going to walk in and wow you with his physique, but man, he's a heck of a hockey player. He just got the job done. Gritty, knew how to play, knew when to jump. His IQ was fantastic. He was a lot of fun to watch during his time.
You see Aaron Partridge, his older brother Adam Partridge, the former goaltender for this Liberty Flames D2 team. Partridge, he'll be out for a little while. And you mentioned on last night's broadcast that what was that you had mentioned?
Yeah, he's got some hip issues, and you know, goaltenders know all about that, myself included. And he's got such a hip injury that he's not going to be able to play in between the pipes this season, so he's going to suit up for the Division III team as a forward. You know, why not?
I have to wonder how his game would translate, or if he's played a little bit of forward before.
I hear he's pretty solid. I think he's actually going to dress, and he's a big guy. You know, like that's the one thing I've spoken a lot about, and typically you see in a program that has 3 teams.
And now on with it. 8:20 remains. Trying to fall for it. Riley Johnson trying to stay on his feet. Gets a little shove there by Niederer. Mazakowski has to go and retrieve it along the blue line. 8 minutes remain. Hugo fires one. Sihanouk just mishandled it just a little bit. Able to keep it in.
Sihanouk with a well-placed trip in front of the goal. But going back to that, and typically in a program that has 3 teams, as you go down a division, the size gets smaller and smaller. And in years past, the Division III team's been a pretty small group of guys, because typically if you have size and you skate, you're going to play at a higher division. But this year, they've got some big fellas down there. Like, this is a year where the Division III team, in my opinion, has the potential to make some noise and head definitely back to regionals and potentially nationals.
Soupy Campbell there. I've wanted to ask you for a while, where did Jarrell Campbell get the nickname Soupy Campbell?
Campbell Soup.
Don't know if that was a dumb question. I wonder if there's like any more backstory or something.
I think the boys just call him, it's just one of those Campbell things. Anybody named Campbell. You know, and Liberty used to be in the Big South, and you played Campbell University. You never said Campbell, you just said playing the Soup tonight.
Never heard of that before.
I just made it up. But no, it's all just the last name Campbell, and word on the street was the boys in the locker room called him Soupy, and that has integrated itself into the broadcast now.
So we got a couple cameramen laughing at us a little bit. Dylan Urano and Kevin Silva doing an outstanding job over here to my left. On cameras 1 and 2, giving you all the action and the replays you could possibly handle. 7 minutes remain. Flames still up 5-1. That one gets flipped up. Able to get batted back down by Cohen. See Hynuk now, he'll wait for Wilkie, his man, to get in there and retrieve it.
You know, since the first period, Wilkie's really settled in and I think done a much better job.
Granzow was looking for something.
You saw him right there. He did an excellent job of exiting the zone. He used his legs to find a passing lane and he put it right on the tape.
Now the Icepack are still just searching for answers and nothing going. Besides that first goal, they just haven't been able to get any momentum going. Now around center ice. Wagner gets his stick stuck in there, and they're going to call that.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to hook for that one. He got the old fish hook in him pretty solid and was yanking that thing back and forth.
It's on Orieni.
Hey, you know, perhaps he brought the elbow down on it a little bit. That's what Wagner was saying. But when you're up 5-1, you're not gonna get that. So NC State heading back to the power play. But here's the deal: they've allowed 2 shorthanded goals today. So right now, if you're the Flames, you're probably feeling pretty confident.
It's not a surefire for NC State to get anything rolling on power plays like we've seen before. Those 2 shorthanded goals, both by Tim Doe. Mazakowski with it, trying to keep it in the blue line. Has to go searching for it is Miller. Miller back to Mazakowski. Mazakowski, he'll look up and load, fire, that goes wide. See, Hynuk was there, of course, once again. Trying to keep it as Mazakowski, unable to, as he has to retrieve it back. Now up to Todd. And that gets flown in by J.D. George. 1.5 minutes remain on the power play opportunity. Mazakowski up to Halko. And stolen away by Barstead. Look out. Barstead swarmed by 2 defenders. And it's stolen away again. Halko up again. Halko trying to keep it. Now J.D. George back up. Flips it on in, and a couple new Flames on ice. Peyton Nash, one of those. This swatted away by J.D. George. Nice little hit by Barstead on Zurich. 45 seconds remain on the power play. Here comes Partridge up ice near side boards. Partridge over to Nash. Nash mishandles it. Barstead gets a little chip of it. And Wilkie tries to fire it past the blue line, and that goes out of play.
Know you're excited to be shorthanded and get some opportunities, but Partridge there looking back and trying to find the trailer. Didn't connect, and that could have led itself to an opportunity for NC State. So right now, if I'm Coach Hughes, I'm just saying, hey guys, let's really work on, let's say it's a 1-goal lead and we want to make sure we're taking proper care of the puck.
You want to be able to take advantage of those chances, but you don't want to be too aggressive to the point where you're giving up possible shots on goal. 15 seconds left on the power play for NC State. The Icepack still unable to really get any shots on goals. Doe steals it away. He's got 2 shorthanders already tonight. 3 seconds and counting, and the power play will be up. Great penalty kill as Wagner comes back on ice as Orieni fires one, no. Zurich was there towards the middle. Trying to fire it in the slot. That's no good as well. Guadalajara was there. 3:50 remains in the period. Still searching for it, and then Carter. And then back up to Solomon. Wilkie tries to shove it onto McFarland. Here comes Carter. Carter trying to weave his way, use his body as leverage. That's swatted away and stolen by Jackson Cohen, and then Wilkie is able to retrieve it again. 3:30 remains. Carter up ice. Barstead trying to swat it. Over to Barstead. McFarland's there. Slot. No. Along the boards. NC State trying to retrieve it once again. As Davidson chips it on over to Sihainuk. Sihainuk behind his own net. That'll be over to Barstead.
That was impressive. Dakota on the backhand swinging that one out from behind the net.
Now J.D. George past his own blue line over to the center. George looking to make some noise. He'll just fire a nice little shot over to Cannon. Cannon still trying to stand tall after giving up 5 goals on the night so far. It's Campbell with it. Old Super Campbell shoves it over to J.D. George. Soupy tries to get in on the action. He gets shoved along the boards. 2:25 remains in the period. Flames commanding 5-1 lead.
This has been a very successful weekend for Liberty hockey. Obviously, Division II taking yesterday's game. They were followed by the Division III team winning over Coastal Carolina earlier today. The D3 team swept the weekend series versus Coastal with a 5-1 win, and currently Division II well on their way to sweeping a 2-game set here versus the Icepack.
We just hit under 2 minutes to go. Flames still trying to muster up some offense. Here comes Campbell. Campbell a shot. Gets ricocheted off the stick of Cannon.
Starting to see a couple of the fourth liners out here for NC State.
Tim Doe making a couple shifty moves. Wilkie, as silky as there is, he'll fire one in. Oh, that goes wide. He let it rip. Niederer now with it back to Wilkie. Wilkie trying to get it in. Cannon able to cover. Is Doe in on that? And that puck goes off to the near side boards. NC State running out of time. Niederer skating with it along center ice as Guadalajara skates up past the blue line. We're down to a minute left in the game. Flames a commanding 5-1 lead. As Doe tries to flip it on out. Well, the near side boards, now Flanders and Wilkie just trying to get rid of some time. As it continues to go down, we're down to 40. Tim Doe up with it. Along the near side boards. And they still try and search for it. Less than half a minute to go. Here comes the Icepack, and they'll just flip it on out. Last little line change for them, and that'll be an icing with 19 seconds to go. Liberty well on their way, their second consecutive victory. What are some things that you feel that they can just take from this series and move on as they continue to progress through the season?
Yeah, you know, that's a hard thing to say because right now, yeah, this is your last games of the fall semester. And now you're going to be in the mundane process of practicing and trying to better yourselves each and every week. So yeah, I think you have to realize that we started to play our best hockey of the fall, 5 games in, which I'm sure you're not going to have that much time in the spring semester. You're really going to have to hit the ground running, but this can be an invaluable experience for guys like Grasno, the guys that are just kind of coming on, and some of your young faces, Guadalajara as well, that are just getting a taste of this hockey for the first time. And if you can show them some video, correct some mistakes, then you're going to be in good shape.
The Liberty Flames, as the bell rings once again, the Flames prevail 5-1 over the NC State Icepack. The Flames, they come in after a pretty tough series against University of Mary Marauders, and they come in and sweep NC State. For the Flames, they had 5 goals tonight, 1 from McFarland Nash, 2 from Timothy Doe. Blake Flanders also in on the action as Dakota Sihainuk played excellent in goal all game long. NC State left packing. The Flames, they'll go in to the winter break looking for more. For David Hoffman and Rhett McGibbon, saying so long from the LIC.